Today we're going to talk about a project that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks. Hey, what's going on? It's Ryan. Before we get into the video, if you can just hit that thumbs up button down there, subscribe, that would mean the world to me. With that, let's talk about today's video. So in today's video, we're not going to specifically talk about one type of camera, though we are going to be talking about a camera. But that's not what the video is going to be really focused on. It's going to be more about the experience and the journey that I took with this photo for these two projects I worked on side by side that kind of correlated into like one project. I've been wanting to take more and more portraits of people I know. And that's what I did this past weekend. I took some really beautiful portraits with my good friend and musician, Jose. And then the week before that, I took these really beautiful photos of my good friend Dare. He is a model. He's just an all-around amazing person and also a musician as well. Using this big boy right here. My favorite camera, my medium format beauty, my just this thing is just blows me away every time I take photos with it. It weighs a ton, but it's got that special place in my heart. But anyway, let's start with Jose because that's the most recent one. That's the one I have the most video of. All right, so I'm here in Bushwick right now taking photos of my good friend Jose here. Jose is a musician. He is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for a while now. And I just really wanted to take some photos of him with my EOS R, as well as my Mamiya RZ67, and also the Nishika 3D camera that I had. We're out here in Bushwick. There's a ton of graffiti around. It's very sweaty and hot out. But we're going to take some photos. But I want Jose to take a second to talk about what his stuff is all about.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm Jose. I go under the moniker of JOATA. You can find my music on Spotify and all the streaming platforms. JOATA.bandcamp.com if you want to really listen to it and pick up a vinyl. And I'm starting to learn how to skateboard. So some of these pictures you'll see you'll see me on a skateboard. So thank you guys.
Jose is a very accomplished Latin Puerto Rican musician, though he primarily focuses on making music for everybody. That is his heritage. He's very proud of it, and I completely respect that. And we went into Williamsburg to this one area that had some really great graffiti and some kind of city feel to it. As Jose is from this city, he wanted to represent that in his photos, and we made sure to encompass that when we did our photos. So I met up with him, and Jose has actually never had someone professionally take photos of him before, which I found very interesting as he's very photogenic and has a very unique, inspirational look. So it wasn't a challenge, it was just something new I had to do. I'm very used to directing people that are professional models and people that have a little bit of modeling under their belts and know what they're doing, but Jose was new and I wanted to take a different approach and just kind of hang out with him and have a good time and just have fun and make him feel as comfortable as possible. And I think you can actually see that in some of these first couple of photos that we took. Now these are going to be a little bit mixed in because I do have some digital photos I took of him with my Canon EOS R, as well as my film camera Mamiya. We're going to focus mostly on the film, but I want to show a couple of photos from my EOS R that really represents how he just gradually felt more and more comfortable as we moved along. So these first photos, you can kind of see he's a little bit tensed up, a little bit, still kind of getting used to it. But as we got through it and as we moved on to the film, we were able to get some really good quality photos. So we had him do two looks. So I had him wear a couple of his shirts that he's selling on his website, and as well as changing over to another kind of custom jersey he had for a Puerto Rican baseball team that had his name on it. So that was the overall arching thing of our shoot, is we wanted to focus on representing his music while also representing his heritage that he's extremely proud of. And I think some of these photos that are coming up really represent that. I mean, he had this beautiful Puerto Rican flag that he had wrapped around him, and then he also had this beautiful Puerto Rican face mask, as you know, we all should be wearing masks nowadays, and it really represents that he has an essence of fashion and an essence of loving and respecting his culture. So we hung out for a couple of hours and had some fun. He's a skateboarder too, so we took some photos of him on his skateboard. And he's also just a fun guy. He was willing for me to say, hey, why don't you get up on that truck and let me take some photos with my digital camera. And then also he was cool and totally down to just like sit on this beam that was for a garage and stand on it and jump off of it. And again, you could see in these film and digital photos that he was just really, open to anything as we got more and more comfortable. That actually might be the idea for this video, not talking about a project, it's talking about how to get models and people you're working with more comfortable. I just thought of that halfway through. So those were the photos I took of Jose with the Mamiya and then the Canon EOS R. The Mamiya really blows me away with how good of the quality of the photos that come out of it. I was shooting on Kodak Portra 400, hashtag Portrait for Life, Portrait Family, Portra. It's one of the best film stocks out there. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So I thank Jose for his time and for working with me and getting me that dope skateboard right there. He signed it for me. He gave it to me as a gift. It was wonderful. You can find that on his website. It's now hanging on. I'll show you in a minute. You can get that actual skateboard on his website. It's pretty amazing. So moving on to the next person I shot with the Mamiya. This is strictly done on the Mamiya. Was my good friend Dare. He is a fiercely attractive man, has a great personality. He is absolutely a fun person to be around, and I wanted to just get some really great portraits of him with the Mamiya to really show his fashion sense and how good of a person he is through the photos. And it started off where it wasn't about him being a little bit nervous, as I was a little bit nervous. We've known each other for a while, we're friends, it's nothing weird, but I was just a little nervous about taking photos of him for the first time. And after the first two photos, which these two you can see here, we framed them up perfectly. They look incredible. I mean, this looks like something you would see in a magazine. And after those two photos, I was comfortable and ready to continue shooting. So we walked down to the pier, to the water in Brooklyn, and we just kind of went to different areas of the pier, and we got this beautiful shot right here that I'm absolutely in love with. And then we stayed in that area and took a couple of more shots of him. And just in every single shot we did, Dare just knocked it out of the park. It was incredible. And then as we were ending our day, we headed back to where my car was parked, and there was this really cool chain link fence that I really just wanted to get a couple of photos of him in front of and through there. And we actually got a couple of really good ones because the sun was going down around golden hour and we got some shadows on his faces. But these ones of him by the chain link fence just came out just as good as the ones by the water, but the water ones killed it. But yeah, those were the photos that I took of Dare. They came out incredible. Again, it just shows how wonderfully amazing film is and wonderfully amazing this Mamiya RZ67 camera is. It's just incredible. And to close this kind of video out, I guess I'll just say this is like, it's all about being comfortable and being relaxed and being confident in what you're doing. And it's all just about being comfortable, but it's about your model being comfortable. It's about you being comfortable and confident and not having so much pressure on top of you. The thing I would say take away from this video really is just make sure that your model is comfortable. Whether it's male or female, just make sure that they are absolutely comfortable and having a good time. Don't get too in your head. Make your models feel comfortable. Remember to like, thumbs up, subscribe to keep just shooting, and I will see you in the next one. This thing is so big.